Holy cow. That is something you never see. Ever. Wow. Those aren't goats. I mean, those aren't sheep. Those are goats. Check it out. Okay, camp is behind there. There's the food bear pull. I turn around and right on the ground, bear crap. But it's last year's, so I haven't seen any other evidence today of a bear. Saw a grizzly on the road, saw a pile of crap on the road, but not here. Let's go see where the water is. Huh. Woo! Gorgeous! Wow! Woo! Summer's different than winter because when we get to camp early and there's tons of daylight, you can go exploring and you find stuff like this. Woohoo! Wow. Fire ban puts a damper on things. There's a province-wide fire ban on Crown land, so guess I'll just sit over there and watch the mountains. So yeah, so what you see here is it's all I bring. I mean, I did a loadout the other day, and it's not very complicated. You saw I have a tent, one-man tent, a Marmot tungsten UL, thermarest mattress, my Outdoor Vitals sleeping bag, and an inflatable pillow. So that's my sleep system over there. My 750 milliliter pot fuel with the little BRS mini titanium stove. I still prefer an Algene. Actually, on a trip like this, I forgot to bring, sometimes I bring just a cheap plastic water bottle. It's nice to have two bottles, one that you can mix crystals in and so forth. Small pocket knife, nothing fancy, just a Bear Grylls pocket knife, a scrubby. I bring Crocs. I'll put these on later. They're good on the feet. I got a small pouch with a few zip ties and some chicken wire and a few things, spare buckles, things like that. A couple of carabiners, my food, and I have enough food for literally 3 days if I want to, if I ration myself. And a bear spray. I don't have an in-reach. I wear these clothes all day. I'm wearing a t-shirt, a fleece jacket. I have a rain jacket and a puffy. And then I brought a little bit of clothes, so I have a pair of fleece pants that I'll sleep in, and a clean t-shirt, and 2 pairs of extra socks. A saw, just in case, 2 fire starters, and a first aid kit. And that's it. It's the extent of what I carry, and with that I could literally do, right now I could easily do 3 days. It weighs 20 pounds. I bring 2 pounds of food per day basically, but I could stretch that. So I got 4 pounds of food. I could stretch that to 3 days easily. I have no water filter because I just drink out of the creeks. If I'm concerned, I'll boil. But in my first aid kit, I have a couple of tablets, purifying tablets. My first aid kit is basically bandages for your feet, moleskin, a little bit of tape, and a lot of Advil. Advil I find is important. You get sore muscles. And I got a bag of miscellaneous things. I carry about 100 feet of paracord, which weighs next to nothing, and I still have a headlamp that I haven't taken out, but later on I'll probably even ditch. In the summer I often ditch the headlamp. I hiked for years without a flashlight because back in the good old days, an incandescent light, the little mini mag light, was still only, with a AA battery, was still only good for 6-7 hours, so I gave up on those. But today with an LED light you can go a lot longer. LEDs, very essential headlamp in the in winter. And then I have the GoPro mounted on my walking stick, and a second GoPro, sorry, not a second GoPro, this Vantop Moment 5C that I talked about in another video, so I'm using that, and a miniature little tripod. That's it. Oh, I have a tube for my head. Or do I? Oh, it'd be cool to see an avalanche. Be cool to see anything. Be cool to see an elk. Be cool to see a bear from a distance. 6:05, May 19th. Yeah, when I look back at some of the hikes I did earlier, well, late last year, earlier this year, the one at Cascade in particular, when Evan and I did that 3 days, or 3 nights, 4 days with minus 30s. When you look back on that, boy, those were cold days, and you don't go far in winter, and it really changes the whole way that I enjoy the wilderness when when it's dark so early. I mean, here right now I could actually go for another little exploration, which I think I will do in a few minutes. I'm just going to walk down further that way, and I'm not in a hurry to make supper. I'm not in a hurry to do anything. I'm just sitting here staring at these mountains, and I have daylight probably until about 9 o'clock. I'll go to bed around 10. I'll probably wake up around 5 and start hiking. What a great day, though. It was a great day because I hadn't been in this part of the world, for a long time. drove through Edson and then south through Cadomin and Robb. Edson is a place that's near and dear to me. It's where I met Karen, my wife. I worked there as an engineer for Talisman back in the 1999, 2000. I think we lived there until about 2004. Two of my sons were born there, Nick and Patrick. And coming here and going south today, going to Mountain Park, brought back a lot of memories. I remember taking my father there and showing him Mountain Park on one of our trips, going over the divide and spending so many hours in this part of the world as a young adult, hiking, snowmobiling, quadding, hunting, doing all those things. And despite all that, I had never been on this trail. Wow. And now I know this trail is fantastic because it goes all the way through to Jasper. So I'm going to have to come back this summer and go visit my in-laws. So my father-in-law and mother-in-law still live in Edson. So I'll get them to drive me here, drop me off, and then I'll do that traverse and go through the pass and come out in Jasper. And then somebody can pick me up on the other side, or I can hitchhike home. Although I think this year will be a difficult year for hitchhiking. It's always difficult to hitchhike, but I have a feeling that in the COVID-19 epidemic, people might be a little reluctant to pick up a hitchhiker. All right. We got this fancy bear pole, so we might as well use it. And this one, there's nothing left attached to it. I mean, so I have two carabiners, which are convenient, but if you don't have carabiners, you could use whatever. You could use a rope or something. So my food's in my bag. It's already in Ziploc bags in there already. So, you know, this pouch is not waterproof, but the Ziploc bags are. So all you do with this setup is you snap it on and then hoist it up. Jeez, this one's got enough friction. I wouldn't even have to lower to do anything else. But if your bag was heavy, then you would use a second carabiner or something else and then snap it here. That way it can't come back down. So there, that's perfect. And just like that, it starts to rain. Somebody's got a bad sense of humor. People say they like the sound of rain. Me, not so much. I mean, I like it. I get why people like it, but I'd rather not have rain. Trail was nice and dry. Now it's going to be muddy. Good thing about rain, though, is it melts the snow, but it makes the rivers flow faster. And just like that, it stopped raining. Cool. I love these. They're so convenient. You know, it's just tuna with lemon ginger. You know, 16 grams of protein in a pouch. Yeah, it keeps forever. And then I mix it in with rice. Wow. Wow. That is so good. Uncle Ben's and that tuna. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Now I'm hungry. In French we say l'appétit vient en mangeant. The appetite comes from eating. I kind of force myself to eat, but good food, spicy food. Very important. Very important. I have no idea how those guys can do the coal soaking thing. I can't imagine. Warm food, cooked food, hot food. So good. Cheers, everyone. Well, it's been a great day. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's 9:53. All that's left for me to do is change into my sleeping clothes and go to bed. Here, one last look at the view from my window. So I have a clothesline. Hang up my pants and my socks. I'm comfy. My backpack is under the awning. My boots, water bottle, bear spray has to be close. I can throw my puffy over my head if it gets cold. Got a toque, a couple of pairs of gloves. There's one thing about this tent, it doesn't have a lot of pockets, but I can put the headlamp right there. I'm gonna wear my gloves. Go to bed with the batteries in the sleeping bag. Phone in the sleeping bag. Try and keep it warm. Toque on my head. Take off my glasses. And zip up the zipper and I'm done. There's a frost. Mattress is a little deflated, not too bad. Check out that gap. Wow. So the sun's casting a shadow over there. Unfortunately, it's going to get up behind that mountain, so it's going to be quite a while before I have sun. Here's my toiletry bag. Toilet paper. Actually, this is more officially my toiletry bag. Toothbrush and toothpaste. That's all you need out here. Nobody cares what you smell like. Maybe you do, but I don't. There, the pack's all loaded. I just want to show you, so, you know, the center of gravity of a human being is typically around the belly button. And the closer the weight is to your belly button, to your center of gravity, the better, you know. If I have weight out on an arm and I'm constantly trying to move it, it's hard. But if I had the weight right here, and it's easier. So, you know, torque and having weight far from your center of gravity puts extra stress on your body. So it's important to put heavy items or bulky or denser items near the center of gravity, which happens to be down at the bottom, and then lighter items near the back. So you put heavy, light, and heavy at the front, light at the back. So you center the weight in the center of gravity. Then this is a full suspension pack. So when you're putting on your pack, the first thing you do is you ride it on your waist. Now I have these 2 cinches here, so I tighten it just a little bit, which is good. So now that pack is riding on my weight. Now one failure that people do is they forget to loosen these load lifters while they're loading the pack, which tends to compress the pack. So loosen the load lifters so that the pack is as high as possible. Stuff it properly. Then, so settle in on your hip. This sternum or chest strap keeps the straps from going too far left to right. And then at the very end, cinch down on your load lifters so that you're pushing the weight against your body. And there you go. So now I have a super comfortable pack to walk with. Leave everything better than how you found it. One last look around. Common to forget tent pegs. You know, you lift your fly or something and the peg is left behind, so no tent pegs left. 8:18 and I'm on my way, and I got about an hour-long walk. My feet are cold right now, but they'll warm up pretty quickly. Trails that way. The snow froze overnight. That's why the melt is taking so long. Walking backwards in your previous footsteps is a pain because your previous footsteps are frozen and they're in a slightly different shape. You know, you walk outwards instead of inwards going back out, and so you're trying to step in your footprints, but they're frozen, so you're constantly sort of twisting your ankles. I hate it. When you see it this way, it looks a little more daunting, doesn't it? One thing that helps a lot when you're walking alone to keep bears away is to have monologues and talk to yourself kind of thing, and yell the occasional, "Hey bear!" But the other thing that works really, really well is singing. So I'm going to sing a little song for you folks. We are the engineers. We can demolish 40 beers. Drink rum, drink rum, drink rum, drink rum. Come along with us, for we don't give a darn for any old man who don't give a darn for us. Hey! Second verse. Godiva was a lady who through Coventry did ride, to show to all the villagers her lovely bare white hide. The most observant villager, an engineer of course, was the only one to notice that Godiva rode a horse. Woo! It's about 6 verses like that, but I think I've bored you enough. I was just walking and I just realized one thing I forgot to mention is these straps here too. Mine generally stay the same way, but they're the second ones that you do. There, now the pack's totally comfortable. This is definitely grizzly habitat, you know, they roam these slopes. They love meadows like that. All these avalanche slopes where there could be dead animals, who knows. They're gonna follow the river. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen a bear yet. This is also a very, very, very popular sheep hunting area. There's some world-class sheep in this part of the world. I don't remember this much snow coming in last night. I definitely prefer in loops, you know, but and by loops I mean you start somewhere and then you do a big loop and you finish where you started. But I also like in and outs like this, they have a certain advantage, which is you seldom look over your shoulder. So when you're hiking in, you're looking forward, and when you're hiking out, it looks different. So this is a perfect example. This trail is absolutely gorgeous going out. I mean, I was climbing all along River Valley. Now I'm going out, and the trail drops before me, and I have these amazing vistas. So yeah, gorgeous. I could go fast and furious and get out of here quickly, but this is just too spectacular. I'm going to stop here and have a little break and enjoy this. Normally, if I was on a multi-day trip, because I packed this morning and everything was kind of wet or damp, I would stop here in the beautiful sun like this, and all it takes is about 15 minutes and the tent would be bone dry. Carly, check this out. Keep it simple. The old t-shirt's about 3 years old now, Carly, and it's well worn. I sweat in it, I soaked it. It's faded quite a bit, but it hasn't ripped anywhere. And that's always a good sign when a t-shirt's very well worn. It means that the owner likes it. So this was one of my favorite t-shirts just because of the expression, you know. Keep it simple. It's very similar to my get off the beaten path kind of concept. Keep it simple. This is simple life. Big old grouse just scared the crap out of me. I can barely see him. Now I'm accidentally off the trail and I'm just following a game trail. There was a lookout over there, and I thought the trail was just going to look at the lookout, but it was obviously going to the lookout and follow the creek, and I stayed straight. But I'm pretty confident it'll hook back up. I just figured out what I did. I accidentally took the horse trail. I came down that way, and there's the main trail very close to the parking lot. I saw their footsteps, but never saw them. All right, that was a short trip, but hope you enjoyed the video. The trail is fantastic, highly recommended. I'm going to come back and do the actual Fiddle River, or Fiddle Pass. Hope you also liked the little history lesson on the Coal Branch and some of these mountain towns. I'm going to go back through Cadomin now. I'll stop in Cadomin and video a little bit of Cadomin. Then I'm going to go north to Hinton, and then south to Jasper, and then home. I was actually on the other side of that range. I think that's Luscar Mountain. 1, 2, 3 elk, all cows. And actually there's a fourth one behind there. But if you want to see something amazing, there's another elk over there. They know they're protected here because this is a mineral land lease, and so there's signs everywhere. No hunting, no shooting, no trespassing. I can drive through because it's an important road and it's taken me to Hinton, but this is temporarily, Luscar is allowed to use this to extract the coal, and there's, you know, it's private land as far as a citizen is concerned. I know this looks ugly, but it's right there on the surface. It's a coal seam, and they'll dig it all out, and then over time they'll reclaim it. I mean, these hills have been reclaimed. This is Nigel Creek Trailhead. Some people have walked a bit down there, but I just come through the ice fields and looking at Nigel Pass. We're not doing Nigel Pass. It's May 20th, and no way. This is the North Saskatchewan, and that's Alexandra. Remember that, Laurent? That's where we stopped and saw the geese running up, and where I lost a shoe. So if there's still snow in the river flats, I imagine the valley is pretty snowed in. In perspective, this is Bow Summit. So you know, if a pass like this, which is relatively low, I'll look it up when I get home, is snowbound, the higher elevation passes are definitely snowbound.